This next question is, I recently was in Harlem and I did an interview with Snake Eyez, and he was kind of, you know, trying to figure out what his position is and things like that. And he feels like, you know, he said his problem was with P, but he's always felt like he had a great relationship with you and Smack, and he wants to be a part of the organization and continue to work and flourish in his career from his perspective, you know what I'm saying? And he feels like, you know, he definitely did moves that may have, you know, tainted or made him look a little way, certain way to the URL. But what is, you know, your standing on Snake Eyez and
I
what
don't have an issue with Snake.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know he's spoken outward publicly about certain things, and he has the right to do that and the freedom to express his opinion on how he sees things. I don't have an issue with Snake. I never did. You know what I'm saying? You know, when we did think that we had certain, you know, when he did think certain things were said, you know, we jumped on the phone and we chopped it up. You know what I'm saying? And we tried to figure things out. You know what I'm saying? The only situation that is with Snake is that we had a certain type of an agreement and he broke the agreement.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I know a lot of times people point to other situations where people say, well, oh, he's done the same thing, but everybody's situation wasn't the same. Or maybe at that time, certain people's contracts were up and they made certain moves, or either they were penalized or things happened in other situations for breaking their contract. But the reality is, if you give someone money and they sign it down, I'm not saying this is necessarily his situation, but if you give, what happens oftentimes is guys come to us, we give them situations, we sign deals, we give them money, we pay them in advance, and then what happens is they spend the money and then they make a move, and then when you enforce your move, you're wrong. Okay. Right? And I'm not saying this directly relates to Snake Eyez. I'm speaking in general, so I just want to clarify that. Okay. But you know, he had we did have a situation, and as you mentioned, and as he mentioned, you know, he stepped outside the bounds of that situation. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So now it's just about, you know, letting a little time go by so we can come to some type of a formal resolution in that regard. Like I said, I don't have an issue with him where I'd be like, I never want to see him again on URL. Forget Snake Eyez. It's not anything like that. But what you also have to understand is that when others have the same situation and they play within the lines and they play within bounds and the rules, it fucks up the locker room. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody makes a move and they go outside and then they see that the grass isn't greener, and then they get to come back and the other guys who've been playing by the rules are sitting and waiting, and then they, you know what happens? Oh, he gets to do this and I can't. Why can he do this and why can he do that? You know what I'm saying? So it turns into one of those situations. Also, you know, a lot of times people make reference to other MCs, but some of those guys I didn't have situations with when they made certain moves. Okay. But once I make a move with somebody and we sign a contract, or we have a situation that we have an agreement that we've come to, you know, it's not always fair that people get to go and do what they want to do, and then we're responsible for marketing these people, promoting them, getting them into, bringing them in with our strategic partners, putting bigger cameras on them, bigger lights, promotion, you know, just your whole profile's elevated. We make an agreement, then you get what you want, and then you're off to the races to do your thing. And then we don't even say anything about it. We never bring it up, we never mention it. And then it doesn't work out, or the grass isn't greener on the other side, and then you want to come back, and it's like, yo, how can I let you back in when the last 4 or 5 guys who have the same situation or similar have been playing by the rules and you're not? Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I never force anybody to do anything that they don't want to do. I'm very clear and transparent about how we're moving and what we're doing and what the goal is and what the objective is. Okay. So we have to play by the rules. Once we're not playing by the rules, or I'm not living up to what I do, people are gonna put me on blast or put the company on blast and say URL was wrong, or URL did this, or URL did that. But it doesn't happen. See the guys out here performing.
Yeah, they're bumping the surf. I mean, hey, well, with that being said, so I just want to, you know, make it clear, like, the door isn't closed on them. It's still okay.
The door is not closed. Okay. What happens sometimes, what has to happen is there has to be a little bit of time that goes by. You know what I'm saying? You can't directly break a main rule or go against the contract, step out because you think somebody else did it, not knowing what that person's situation or scenario is, and then think that the same things apply to of you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's just like, if like I said, if I have 4 or 5 other people, that's like if you come to an event and you say, yo, Bees, you know, can I shoot backstage? And I say, yeah, Knowledge, just as long as you don't film the cameras of the guys coming out of the locker room, right? And you say, okay, Bees, I got you. I will not go back there. And then the next thing that happens is you see another camera crew go over and do what I just asked you not to do, right?
I understand.
And then there's no consequence for that camera crew.
Yeah, I understand.
And then I let them be privy to the same things, but I'm allowing them to do
that's real.
what it is. It's just not fair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I try to have balance and I try to play fair. You know
that's
so
real.
It's nothing personal, but you know, everybody has to understand. And everybody makes their decisions and they make their beds and they gotta lay in it. You feel what I'm saying? So if I make a decision or I go against my contract that I have with somebody and that person up and leaves and gets out of that contract and I lose that particular talent on my platform, if I made the mistake, then I have to live with the consequences. If I don't pay somebody or handle business correctly and somebody comes and knocks me upside of the head, I have to live with those consequences. That's real. You know what I'm saying? And as you see, it's never happened because I don't play outside of the rules. I don't tell somebody I'm going to pay them a certain amount of money and don't pay them. I don't negotiate things and say it doesn't happen. And when I do make a mistake, I gladly take responsibility and I apologize for my mistakes.
That's right.
So I think it's just nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's all about balance and energy. You know, we've seen guys come, we've seen guys go.
Yeah.
Some guys never come back. Sometimes guys take a little bit of time and then they realize that this is the platform for them. Others don't perform as well on URL. Some people do better outside of URL and they're built for other platforms. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Everyone is not for everything.
That's right.
You know, so it all depends, man. You know?
And the last thing I wanted to ask you.